just sit and tell you about life in general, what's going on, give you a little update. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do as far as my job. I did get a work-at-home job. I still need to take a drug test for that, so wanted to share that with you guys. Got a semi going around me here. All right, so I am just excited about that job opportunity, but it doesn't start for another 30 days. So kind of nervous about how I'm going to be able to pay my bills for July, and little concerned, but I do know that God's got me and He's going to help me figure it out. So I am just pressing forward and doing what I can as a grandma and as a single Christian mom. Okay? Very, very excited to learn some new things for this job, and super excited to be able to stay home and work at home. All right, so with that said, I am wanting to set some goals for this channel, Blessed Be the Gift, and I'm wanting to go over that with you. First of all, I want to focus on my relationship with God a lot more and share that journey with you, as I am relying 100% on God to pay my bills and relying on Him to give me happiness and joy and love, not only in my life, but for myself. I need happiness with myself and my decisions, and I need joy for myself and my decisions, and I need love for myself, especially with my health. And so I am, like I've said before, needing to really focus on my journey of my health for myself. And I did get a membership to a pool, and I get to go swimming every day and enjoy exercise and a hot tub, which really helps. Also, going to the doctor, taking care of the things that I need. Now, that's one thing that's really super great with this new job that I'm going to start after my 90 days. So, you know, it won't be till next year really, but I will be able to get some health insurance, and that just really takes the cake for me to be able to have a job that I can work at home and have health insurance. So super excited about that. Taking care of my own health needs is something that I didn't even do when I was married, you guys. My husband never really kept insurance on me, and we couldn't afford it. We were poor when I was married. And so, you know, the kids always came first, and my health was not something I ever took care of. And since I've had my weight loss surgery in February, I am focusing a lot more on me and my health and my journey. And so I'm very happy about that. With that said, I am going to try to start exercising a lot more, lifting weights and running a little bit. My knees still hurt when I walk for long periods of time. Like if I go to the grocery store and I'm walking around the whole store, I notice that I still have pain, arthritis in my knees, and they start to hurt. And I know when the weather's bad, I start to hurt in my knees. And so I want to keep my focus on that goal of mine to take better care of my own health. And so I am excited to be able to do that and to focus on what I need for me. I also want to start taking better care of my beauty. My hair is starting to fall out again, and I'm afraid that I'm going to lose lose a lot of my hair, but I do want to take care of that for myself. And I want to better my health in those areas also. I want to be able to take more adventures and sightseeing, and so I want to do some car camping, and I have a lot of time now on my own, so I am going to try to do some of all of that for you guys and try to learn as I go. You know, I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to be able to share that journey with you and show more of God's nature. I am getting ready to go over the Missouri River, so let me show you that. Just doing a lot more videos and pictures of the things that are super nice and nature and enjoying what God has created for us to enjoy. A couple weeks ago, I got to take my boy out and enjoy the nature and seeing some waterfalls and enjoy some fountains and waterfalls, because God really has given us a lot here in Kansas City to go and see. All right, the sun's going down and I can't hardly see, so bear with me. But I am really loving my life right now, loving what God has done in my life for me, and loving the things of life. I'm really loving summertime, even though it's been very, very hot here in Kansas City. I am loving the fact that things seem a little calmer, you know, in the city even. And I am loving the relaxation that I have as a single mom. You know, it gives me some free time to take care of myself and to take care of my obligations and the things of life that I'm responsible for as a single mom. And, you know, I know that God has given me my family and my children and even my ex-spouse to me as rewards for being faithful. And I'm just so very happy that and feeling very, very blessed in my life that God has given me these gifts in my life. And, you know, I think I've kind of had a reality check since my divorce about what really matters most in life. And the one thing that really matters the most in life is being a Christian. It's being and making those decisions that are commanded by God and following Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, and picking up that cross daily to honor Him in everything you do. And that is something that I really want to do more of here on Blessed Be the Gift channel, is to share my relationship with God, my marriage that I'm in, that oneness that I have with Jesus. You know, going into a marriage, I thought I was marrying someone who was a Christian, and I have found out through my divorce that there's no possible way that that was the case. I understand what it means to be one, and I understand what it means to leave your father and mother and cling to your spouse. It's a relationship, and it's a oneness and a communication. It's never ceasing in that, always being in prayer with God. And I really should have always been in prayer with my spouse and reading God's word with my spouse, as God commands us to do that as Christians. So I am wanting to make that change in my life. That I am going to be one with God in my life as a single Christian mom. And I know the decisions that I make moving forward with my children and with my home, having love for others and supporting others is something that is number one priority in my life. Having that work-life balance. And I definitely want to get involved in some ministries of serving others and guiding and helping others, and using my journey and my divorce and what I've had to go through and my singleness to help other single moms. And so that's why I have Blessed Be the Gift channel. Am I perfect at what I say? No. Am I perfect at how I go about doing this channel? No. Am I perfect about my relationship with Christ? No. Have I done things in my past, said things in my past that are unbiblical and non-Christian like? Yes, because I'm human and I sin. But I can tell you guys, I never, ever did anything that is biblical to be divorced. I have never, ever done anything that is biblical to have to go through what I've gone through. So I sit back and I wonder why, why has God allowed me to go through this? And I really do believe it is to set an example for my children and to be able to show others Christ living in me despite what I've had to go through over the last several years. And I know that God is teaching me, and He's going to use my journey to help other single moms. And so I have learned over the last couple of years that my journey has made an impact already to other viewers here on YouTube, and I am being an encouragement to you guys, and letting me know that I'm encouraging you is just meaning the world to me, because I don't know you guys, you don't know me, and my journey is my journey. It's nobody else's journey. It's what I've had to go through. And so with this journey, there are some books that are in the process of being written. There are some videos that are going to be made. There are some other ideas and goals that I have set that I have not shared with you, and I'm not going to share with you yet. I am going to take the time I need to work on myself and that relationship with God that I need to have to be very strong with what I'm getting ready to do, because I need to be able to do it in a godly manner. The things I say, I need to say it in a godly, biblical way. And I need to be very careful with how I share my journey and what I've gone through. Because my goal is not to hurt others. My goal is to help others. And my goal is also to share the love of Jesus Christ to the world and whoever watches my videos. So I want to be very cautious with how I share my journey. With that said, I want to be honest with what I've had to go through. I want to share some details with what I've had to go through. My divorce had occurred with zero biblical backing. My divorce had occurred without zero seeking God in the process. With the decision that was made to have the divorce. I have been seeking God and doing nothing but seeking God since my divorce. Since I was told that there was a filing of divorce in my marriage, because I don't know why. I don't know the why. I don't know what happened. I have never had any communication to the why. There were a lot of people in our life as a family and married couple and church members who have tried to reach out to find out the why. And everybody was rejected. There was a lot of Christian biblical counseling that was refused. And so I went to biblical counseling on my own as a Christian single mom. And I went and got the help that I needed to process my divorce and to seek God, as I had no control over what was happening. And, you know, I look back and it wasn't a battle that was mine to fight. And it was wrong what was happening to me. But, again, God saw me through it. God got me through it. And God has got big plans for what I've had to go through. And those big plans are here on YouTube. And He has been speaking to me about what I need to say and what I need to do. But I want to make sure that I am one with Christ in my journey and what I share. And I want to make sure that I am listening to God. So I need to be patient and loving, and I need to maybe continue to seek that wise counsel. And I suggest that every single woman out there find a Naomi in their life. I would be Ruth, and I need a Naomi in my life. I need wise counsel from another single Christian mom who has gone through what I've had to go through according to divorce. Someone who's going to give biblical counseling and wise decision making. Someone who understands. Someone who will pray for you and with you. And someone who will praise God for what He has done in your life, but walk through the singleness with you. And that is what's biblical, is to go to other Christian believers, to go to each other in your singleness, and to rely and depend on other Christians to help you in troubled times, in your trials. And I went to court, you guys, representing myself, standing up for myself, all by myself, because the wise counsel that I had said, take it. Take it and let God handle the situation. Take the evilness that's coming against you, the lies, the cheating, the stealing, take it. And be strong in your faith. And I think that is exactly what I needed to do, even though I lost the court battles. It was to help me become a stronger person of faith and a godly woman, to let evil think that they won. The evil people that have taken away from me, to let them think that they've won. Give my life and my situation and my children over to God. And because I have done that, I do feel like that was wise counsel. You don't repay evil for evil. You turn the other cheek. You love others and you forgive others for what they have done against you. Even Jesus up on that cross says, forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they do. And if you're going to call yourself a Christian, you need to be acting like a Christian. And the more I thought of how to handle my divorce and how do I handle what was coming up against me, I could easily fight a battle that was unbiblical. I could fight a divorce, or I could give it to God. That was my two choices. I could surrender my life to God. I was saved when I was 5 years old, guys. What kind of person would I be if I tried to control, tried to do things on my own? I had a settlement agreement because my spouse wanted a divorce. I followed the settlement agreement 100%. I wanted to keep our settlement agreement. And I wanted to follow my settlement agreement because the settlement agreement we made was in the best interest of our child. Was it perfect? It was for our child. Our children are a gift to us as husband and wife and mom and dad of that child. We are not to have other people raising our child. They are solely our responsibility, and it hurts the children when they're taken away from one or the other parent. So I believe that it is biblical if you are going to be divorced and it's out of your control and you can't stop it, that you are to do your best to do 50-50 straight down the line. I wanted to do 50-50 on selling all of our property and assets. I wanted 50-50 on the complete division and dissolution of marriage. If I was going to have an unbiblical divorce, I just wanted what I brought into the marriage and what I had prior to the marriage. Now, I think that my divorce was completely unbiblical and wrong, and I am not ever going to change my mind on that because I believe that to be true. I believe that the modification in the court hearings that I've had and even going to jail was so unbiblically wrong and hateful and evil. mother of your child. It is unbiblical and unright to do that to the children of the marriage or children involved in the marriage. But now that it is all said and done, I have gone through to the other side. I do know that my journey and what I've had to face with the lies has made me stronger. It doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger, right? That is so true. God is never going to give you anything that you cannot handle. God is going to walk you through your trials and your tribulations in life, especially when you feel like you are doing it all alone. And I cried myself to sleep many, many nights. Many nights. I tried to share God's love in my life with you guys during the worst times of my life. I had a very happy marriage. I was happily married. I loved my spouse. I loved my children. I loved our home. And I loved my family more than anything in life. And I think I loved my family, my spouse, my children more than I loved God during my marriage. And I made a huge mistake by putting trust in that unit. And I think that that's why I'm divorced today. Because I was willing to submit to sin and not submit to God. And through it all, God has really taught me what it is to be a Christian. What it is to be a Proverbs 31 woman, wife, homemaker, mother, and what I need to be doing and focusing on moving forward as a Christian single mom. So, with that said, you guys, I am having a really hard time seeing the road, so I'm gonna get off of this video. But I want to encourage you that every single mom out there has their own journey, and we need to unite. And if there is anyone here on this channel who would like to start up a Zoom communication, talking to each other here on YouTube video series, let me know. Try to get a panel of single moms together where we can chat and we can come on and share our experiences, especially as Christians. I know there's not a whole lot of Christian single moms out there. There's a lot of single moms that I know. They choose to live a different lifestyle. It's not one for God. I am choosing to live a lifestyle for God. Remain faithful in my marriage and to submit and surrender everything I have left to God. Without Him, I am nothing. And with Him, I have everything I need. And He always provides. And I don't have to worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow has worries of its own. And I'm very blessed. And time is short. it, guys. And I want to spread the love of Jesus and let my light shine here on YouTube. So I want to thank you guys for watching. God bless, and please like, share, and subscribe. Send me an email if you guys would like to join a single mom chat over here on Blessed Be the Gift, and we will get that going. So I want to thank you guys for watching. God bless, and have a good night. Bye.